huge problem in youth right now is anxiety and depression. There are a lot of people who I think want to be in that spot where they're like, I'm going to be, or either they want to be the guy who does that and don't know how, because maybe they're
energetic
dealing with,
yeah.
maybe they're dealing with depression or whatever. Because so I can tell you from my perspective is I grew up shy. Like I've never gone.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
About you.
Okay. So listen to me. So, because I have a little bit similar story in that I mean, my parents can attest to it. I was the kid like hiding behind my mom's leg, like growing up, right? Super shy, all that stuff. And I never struggled with depression. I struggled with anxiety for years, right? But when and that was all through high school. High school, I didn't hardly talk to anybody in high school. I mean, I had my select like 4, right? And that's not me saying, oh, I had no friends. I mean, I just didn't choose to hang out with a lot of people. Yeah. You know, I had my core little group, and then outside of high school, especially when I started picking up stuff at work or work at church. I'll call it church. It's technically work, but it's also church. I started doing video stuff is when I decided I'm like, I'm not going to be the shy guy anymore.
Yep.
And I'm going to be the energetic, you know, because I started to kind of work my way up and be put in leadership roles, right? Where very early on, I started as a camera guy. Thank you, Andy, for inviting me. He brought me on to be a camera guy at one of our Easter services.
Cool.
And then I went from there to being asked to start directing. And I was like, this is the ultimate. I mean, this is the top of the top,
Yeah.
right?
3 cameras live.
I know. And Andy and I now wish that we were not the only directors more than anything. But, you know, then I was asked by our tech director to lead the video team. And I was like, I don't even know what that means, but sweet, I'll do it. And now I am the tech director. Right? So it's one of those things where I decided that I was going to be the energetic leader type. I wasn't going to be a follower anymore. I actually decided not to be a follower kind of like halfway through high school, but I was like, I'm going to be the leader. I'm going to be the energetic guy. And now that's kind of becoming who I am a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm no longer shy at all. I can go, it's like, this, hopefully this doesn't sound cocky in any way. Me talking about myself. Is that weird? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's helpful to people.
I mean, yeah, okay, just making sure. Because I don't want to come off that way, but one of the things that I'm super thankful for, and I think video has taught me this a lot, where I feel like I can walk into a room and talk to anybody. I mean, okay, I take that back a little bit. I went to one of those like business mixer things.
Yeah.
I can't survive in that room. There's no way.
They're really hard.
And I have no interest in surviving in that room. But I can sit down and do an interview with anybody and talk to them like a friend, you know? And it was definitely something that was learned, but it was something that was decided. Do you have any input on that for people who may feel like there's just no way they could ever be that person?
Yeah. Like I said, I was homeschooled. And so I was kind of like that as well. So input, I would say, pick a role model. And honestly, it could be a YouTube personality, could be somebody you admire, but we all have those people who are very energetic and whatever. And then put your own spin on it, where be yourself, and then, but the way that their mannerisms that you're attracted to, I guess I would say if you're watching somebody on YouTube, you're watching them for their personality in most cases, because a tutorial could be found in 10 different accounts, but you chose Peter McKinnon because he's got that great that McKinnon personality where he's going to throw his hat at you and he's going to spit in the microphone and drop things, and that's his personality, and I love it. I was watching one today. And I would say, look at the things that you are attracted to in that personality and see what you can foster in yourself where other people will find that attractive about you. Now, I'm not saying copy. So I don't so for instance, Peter McKinnon might be a good example. If I were going to make vlogs, I wouldn't throw my hat at the camera like Peter does. That's a Peter signature move. Yeah. But what could I do? Yeah, the flip, exactly. You've seen it.
Flip into the camera, yeah.
But what I would do is I would make my own signature move and then be consistent with it. Something that is true to myself, something that is kind of quirky that my friends laugh about me. Maybe it's the way I say mulk.
No, that's not real.
No. Or it's the way that I drink my coffee or whatever. Maybe it's something I'm obsessed with, and it's quirky and it's authentic. Don't make something up. It's authentic to yourself. So for me, I'm obsessed with coffee, and so if I'm gonna make a vlog intro, it's gonna have coffee in it. It's gonna have me learning how to make latte art that looks like little dicks in a cup.
Video guys.
It's so a theme. Well, you kind of need it as a video
I guess
guy.
so. Yeah.
I mean, well, I say that I don't do caffeine, but I am addicted to coffee still. So figure that one out. But
just be true to yourself, because as soon as you learn, and you're finding the things that you value about yourself. When you look in the mirror and you start to embrace the things that make you you. And then, and the earlier you can do that, the more you can treasure those things. I mean, we all have things that we're insecure about. It could be our voice. It could be our receding hairline, holla, almost 30. It could be our lack of income or our current job. Maybe we're working at a gas station, whatever. But you choose every single day, depressed, anxious, whatever, or not. You choose every single room you walk into, what level of energy you bring to it. And if you're the kind of person who walks into a room and people are excited to see you, then that makes all the difference. And you choose that every room you walk into. When I got here today, when I walked in, I brought in an aura. And whether or not you felt it or not, maybe, but with me, I carry that. And sometimes it's not highly energetic. And that's my choice that moment. But I'm going to leave here. I'm going to go home to my wife, and I'm going to bring that back. I'm not going to be tired from our day today. Like, as soon as I walk in, I'm like, hey, babe. And that aura, that energy is going to be chosen, not because I necessarily feel it. I would say to anybody who's a teenager, especially, you are the most insecure person in the world, and it's okay. Everybody who's under 25, I'm saying 25 because that's when I stopped caring so much. And maybe it's a little different for everybody, but under 25, your brain hasn't even fully developed yet. And you're more insecure about your body and the way that you do things and your lack of confidence in your achievements and whatever. Give yourself a break. You're not even a fully grown adult yet, and have fun with that. So I have a friend, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to embarrass him. He has a lisp, and he has embraced it instead of being insecure by it. And he is one of the most fun people that I hang out with in Vermont, because he is truly himself and he owns it, and girls think it's adorable. And so he owns it. And so I would say, if you own it, you have a silly flaw, you have silly personality, whatever. If you own it and you're confident with that, people are going to embrace that energy.
Yeah, I think it's important for people to just know that it's possible. It's like, I think a lot of people
change your personality.
Yeah, I think people get stuck in the rut of like I remember, it's something, that younger people, I guess, can relate to, is I remember going from middle school to high school. Mm-hmm. Is for some reason, when you're an 8th grader, you're like, I can be anybody in high school.
Right.
Like, seriously,
it's
everybody,
like the switching companies thing.
Exactly.
It's a new opportunity.
It's just like that. And actually, freshman year is when I started wearing glasses in public, because I needed them real bad in middle school, but I just decided not to be able to see this chalkboard because I thought I looked stupid. But the whole thing is, like, it's possible to do that sort of thing.
Yep.
It is totally possible. It is a choice that you got to make. It is, you don't have to sit there sad that you wish you were somebody else.
Right.
And that's a whole nother conversation, but you can change. Anyway.
Yeah.